everybody. Welcome back to Tea with Publicity. If you are here because Jersey Jerry promoted this episode, welcome to the Tea Tribe. Yes, we are talking about feet today and a few other things, so welcome aboard. I have my producer here with me today, Gia. Hi, Gia.
Hello.
Guys, I don't know if I ever formally introduced Gia because I know I've been having a million producers come in and out of the show. So I kind of just wanted her to fly under the radar to avoid showing you how much things have been switching up. But hopefully she's here to stay for a while.
Yes, permanent.
Yes. So Gia's here, and we're going to answer your Ask Alyssa questions a little bit later. I'm going to catch you up on what I've been up to. I do have some personal life updates. Then Jersey Jerry, my coworker, is on the podcast answering all of your foot fetish questions, and I think he may have swayed me into being open to getting my toes sucked. So we'll get into that in a bit. Like I said, then we'll answer your Ask Alyssa questions, and then I'm going to spill the tea on what's going on in pop culture. So just to kick things off, I think I have a FaceTime date tonight.
Oh, interesting.
So I was talking to this guy on Hinge, and normally conversations I feel are so stale on apps. It's what are you doing? Nothing. You. It's ugh. And then they go nowhere, nothing transpires. So I was talking to this guy. We had really good banter back and forth. We were chatting on the app, and then he was like, look, I might have COVID. Would you be open to FaceTiming? And I was like, you know what? I like that idea because it's a good screener. And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then we moved over to text, and we wound up having a lot in common. So at the very least, I think it will be an easy conversation. He seems cool. So I think I'm doing that tonight.
That's exciting.
I know. So we'll see. It's I feel we're back in March 2020 with the FaceTime dates.
I feel it's kind of, I don't know if I'm the only person in the world that feels this way, but I feel it's kind of easier to talk to people through a video camera. We did recruitment for my sorority all through Zoom, and I was crushing it because it's less awkward in a way.
I know it is.
Even though you're not face to face,
it's
I think
almost
it takes away
friendlier.
Yes, yeah, totally.
It's almost oh, my friend, I'm calling.
Yeah, and then if something goes wrong, you're oh, I'm breaking up.
I know.
I lost signal.
So
very easy to get out of it.
Totally. I feel it will be fine, and we randomly, obviously I don't know him, but we already have all this stuff in common to talk about. We know similar people, so whatever. So I'll update you guys there. Trying to date more this year, as you know. And then what else in my personal life? I really was so drained after last week because it was my birthday, the new year. I was go, 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 go. So Friday I just stayed in. It snowed, took the day. Saturday, I woke up, I went to SoulCycle, which I hadn't gone to SoulCycle in so long because with the pandemic, doing the whole indoor class with mask or no mask kind of just felt weird to me. But I'm here to say it felt so good to be back, so good. And for my birthday, my friends bought me a gift card to get classes at SoulCycle. So now I'm pumped because just being around the energy, even not the workout of it all, the mental health aspect of it all. I love being in there with the music and the lights down, and I almost just kind of manifest when I'm on the bike. I just visualize and I get really great ideas that come to me. I saw a tea triber there, which was fun. So yeah, anyway, I got an email, so I got a little distracted. So I went to SoulCycle, then me and my friends went to brunch, and then after brunch, we were let's just go get a drink. And it turned into an all-day drinking fest. And I was so hungry by the time I went home because I only ate breakfast, not lunch. So on my way home, I'm I had my period, so I think you just crave red meat when you're on your period for some reason because you're iron. I don't know if that's factually correct, but I think it is. And I was just I want a cheeseburger, but being gluten-free, it's really hard because nowhere has gluten-free buns. So Shake Shack does. So I'm oh, I'm just going to get a cheeseburger delivered. I get a cheeseburger delivered. I remember being drunk, looking at the menu. The next thing I know, my Shake Shack is at my house. I go to open my cheeseburger, and there's also a hot dog in the bag.
That's the best surprise you could ever get, literally.
And I was oh my God, bonus dog. I was what is this? But I was so confused. I'm like still a little drunk, and I'm like, why do I have a hot dog? I'm like, I can't believe they sent me one. I remember clicking it on the menu, being like, this is weird that they sell hot dogs, and then clicking away. Turns out I ordered the hot dog. Like, they didn't just accidentally send me a hot dog. Like, I fully ordered the hot dog, having no idea I ordered the hot dog, might I add you. Of course I took a bite. Like, I had to. I was like, bonus talk.
Surprise wiener.
Surprise. Everyone loves a surprise wiener. Or sometimes you don't. But this one was a nice surprise. So I got that. And it was just fun. Like, me and my friends were out. And there was guys. And we were talking. Like, it was just, like, good vibes. So now we're going to go out day drinking every weekend from here on out, we decided. So that was my weekend. I kind of like tried to watch TV this weekend. I'll talk about that in the Spill the Tea section. So let me get into my interview now with Jersey Jerry, where we talk about his foot preferences, what makes him a foot fetish type of guy, my openness to getting my toes sucked, and more. So we will get into that now, and then join me after for the Ask Alyssa segment. You guys, I am here with Jersey Jerry, and this is a long-awaited episode because we're talking about feet, foot fetishes, all things feet. Jerry, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Anytime.
My desk mate.
Yep, right next to each other.
Just two people from Jersey talking about feet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the king of feet. I mean, I run competitions, foot competitions yearly, and come March, I'll have another competition here, and Barstool's going to promote the shit out of it, and it'll be fun.
So is it going to be, are you rating feet in the office or foot submissions?
Foot submissions, that's how I usually do it. Kind of like, you ever see March Madness?
Yeah.
The brackets, it's like that. These, girls, and we're going to do a guy one too. They'll send in feet pictures, and we'll line them up according to, what we think. The one plays the 16, the two plays the 15, like that. Mm-hmm. And it's a daily competition, and the fans get to vote on it as well.
So in high school, obviously it's called March Madness, but the guys in my high school did this thing called May Madness, mm-hmm. where they would pick like 4 girls from each grade.
Okay.
And make a bracket and put us against each other.
Very similar.
And whoever came in on the day that they were like, I don't know, we were playing each other, like they'd be like, Alyssa, you're up tomorrow. So I'd come in a good outfit.
Exactly.
And then you'd progress or not progress, and it became a national news scandal.
Oh, wow.
Because it was like guys reading girls on their, like, this is different, it's feet. On their public appearance, it was all over the news. It was like Montville boys raiding girls in bracket.
Yeah. Yeah, this is super similar. I mean, I've had girls DM pictures, and then the next day they're massaging their feet with lotion. I had a girl actually get a tattoo for the competition.
Oh, so do we like a tattoo on the foot?
I like a tattoo, I like a toe ring, and I like an anklet.
Oh my God. Okay. We're digging in because people wrote in questions, and before we get into specifics, some questions are really pointed. So, Okay. What is it about feet that people like specifically? Like, what makes you a foot guy?
I just think when a girl, when you see a girl take care of her feet, and you see them take care of their hands, their nails, like right off the bat, that points to excellent hygiene. And I think that's a big part of, being a woman, being a guy. I do my nails, I get pedicures. The hygiene part is really important, and I just think there's something, it's just sexy. It's just that white nail polish, it hits different.
So you're a big fan of the white.
Big fan. I mean, yeah.
Oh, and I hear French tip.
You don't see the French tip on the toe often, but it's very rare that you see it, and I'm a big fan. I think it's top 3.
Oh, okay, wait. So white, French, and what's the third?
So I had a little problem with Erica, actually. One of my least favorite is the red.
100% agree.
I can't stand that. I think it's just pure laziness.
Wait, question. What do you think about red lipstick?
Depends.
Because I heard years ago that men don't like women in red lipstick.
I don't, personally.
Never wore it again a day in my life.
I don't personally.
It's like a thing. And I feel the same way. I don't wear red nail polish on my nails.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's just not I don't know, something about it.
I think I don't know. Maybe it makes people like look older. I don't know. Like
that's a good point.
With the red, you know what I mean?
So
I don't know.
what about like a blush pink?
That's hot. I like that.
I do like a neutral.
Nude. A nude is nice, like that.
Yeah, because I don't. Okay, this is my thing. I don't want to like when people have turquoise toenails. I'm like, ew.
It's dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's dirty.
I totally. Okay, I'm starting to get this a little more because when people have dark colors, I'm like, no, you have to go like flesh tones or like natural.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
Okay.
I always get black.
On your toes?
Not my toes, my hands.
Yeah.
Hands are a little different than feet.
I would never do black.
Like a pale foot with a dark toe, I personally think is gross.
Gross. Yeah. Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're on the same page there. KFC was telling me one time, and I don't know if this is like scientifically backed up, but he was saying how there's like a sensor in your brain that
it's the same as
likes,
dopamine.
Yes, that likes pleasure.
Exactly.
That's near like the foot sensor.
Exactly. Yeah, he's right, 100%.
So you think some people are just wired to like feet?
Exactly. Yeah. And like I even appreciate. Okay, let's say for instance I was with a girl, right, and we were in a relationship for a long time, and she was a server. Let's just say she was a server. Let's say at an Applebee's. She's on her feet all day. She comes home. You don't need to shower. I will massage your feet right there. Those sweaty feet, I will massage those because you've been putting in work all day long. Oh, and so I appreciate that.
You like a dirty foot.
I like a clean foot and a dirty foot.
Oh, my God. Okay, we're asking more questions because we're getting into this now. So how do you – a lot of them are very similar. People want to know how to make money, but we'll get into that in a bit. Okay. Foot in his mouth on the first date. Talk about that. So I guess this guy put this girl's foot in his mouth on the first date. Is it a second date type of thing? A third date?
I think for me, this is how it goes. It's I won't probably do that on the first date unless I know that the girl is with that.
True, fair.
But I will make it known right off the bat, like you're coming in my bed, you're gonna take your socks off. You're not gonna wear socks.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I mean Marty's even asked me in the past. My good friend Marty here, he's like, "You're with a dime, a girl who's a rocket, and she takes off her socks, and it's gross." And it's like, I mean, I don't know how to say this other than if I have a hard dick, it's gonna be soft.
If the toes are jagged,
yeah,
and the pedicure's chipped.
It's a big turnoff. Big turnoff. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, I get that though. Because I would feel the same way if a guy had like dirt under his nails or something.
Yeah, no. As guys, like I know me, I use a scrub in the shower daily, and you just make sure it's clean.
Oh, you're very on top of things.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Okay, so people want to know what's the sexiest part: the arch, the toes, or the heel?
Well, that's tough. That's tough. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say the arch because. When you got that arch, your hand fits so good under that arch.
It's like a little support.
It's special.
So we don't love a flat foot?
I mean, I'll deal with a flat foot. I don't mind. But I think it feels the best when you cup that hand right in the arch and you just let it rest on your palm.
It's just like a little like banana.
Exactly.
So, okay, this is a great question. Someone said, is summer/sandal season like being bombarded with porn 24/7 for someone who loves feet?
100%.
Yeah, it's 100%. Just like walking tits out.
Exactly.
Wow.
I appreciate that more than I'd rather a girl with an A cup and sexy feet rather than a girl with C's or D's, perky, nice, and busted up feet.
Wow. Okay, so this is a good one. When did it start? Like, did this happen with puberty, or was this a late in life realization?
This just goes back 2000. This goes back to 017.
Oh, so that's not that long ago.
Yeah, this goes back to 017, 016. No, 017. Laura from Clancy's, a strip club, got a private dance in the back, and I mean, I always liked feet, but I never. People say, "Oh, Jersey Jerry, you got a foot fetish." No, I have a foot appreciation, and this was the first time where I really appreciated feet. And like I said, I appreciate a girl who's been working all night. You know what I mean? And I just, for the
That
first
would
time.
feel nice, I guess, to come home and get your feet rubbed.
Yeah, exactly. And for the first time, I grabbed the foot. And for some reason, I was like, this is it.
You're
This is
making
it.
me more open to it because originally I'm like, ew, no. And now I'm like, you know what? Having my feet worshipped might be nice.
Exactly. And I don't know if you have in the past. Have you
I
ever?
haven't.
You haven't. So you don't really know like what this is about.
But I think it's one thing to have a guy rub my feet than to have a guy stick my toes in his mouth.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't.
I guess I'll never know until I try.
No, you really won't. Let me. This is a kind of a graphic show in a way, or no?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, so just imagine you're with a guy and you're having great sex, and he's just staring at you, and he just grabs your foot and just starts sucking your toes. Would that make you feel uncomfortable, or it's like, wow, this is actually pretty fucking hot?
I would never say no.
Yeah.
Because it's not that weird. Do you know what I'm like? I wouldn't be like, ew, what? Like,
Yeah.
I think I'd just let it happen.
See, I can't. I don't like girls like that. They would.
Like if they said no.
Yeah, that would be all right. Well, our time's up.
No, I would just let it happen.
Yeah.
I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean.
Wait. Okay, you're making me more open to the possibility. I just
Exactly.
think I've never been with someone who's tried that. I'm putting it on my bucket list for this year.
You got to. You got to.
And I'm gonna report back.
You should. Give me the report card.
I'm gonna
on it.
come in screaming, Jerry, I got my toes sucked.
Exactly. That'd be amazing.
Okay, so this question I thought was really interesting. So someone said when the toe is next to the big toe. Oh, when the toe next to the big toe is longer.
Yeah, it's a no-go.
You don't love it? What if it's not?
If it's not too long.
Yeah,
you
as
know
long
what
as
I mean?
it's
Yeah, if you got a thing like that, I mean, it's a little awkward. The perfect feet they're uniform. They go on a slant, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller
Yes.
and smaller.
but not too slanted.
No, not too slanted, but it's like perfect. The only problem is when you get to that big slant, usually that pinky toe is curled up. It's like a curl, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna have my dad enter the foot competition
You should.
for the men.
100%
Because
you
he's
should.
convinced he has the nicest feet.
He should.
He always just puts them on the table. He's like, look at these things.
Do you think they're nice?
They're not bad for a man's foot.
Yeah.
He thinks they're perfect.
He should
We
come,
gotta have
he
him
should come in the competition. I think anybody can enter.
That would be so funny. Okay, so like, do you care what kind of shoes people wear? Because like,
No,
I've got these on.
I would say what, a 7.5, 8.
This
size?
is a 7.5, but they're so big.
You know, I want that on record. If somebody can clip that 7.5, I got Erica's
guessed
feet
it.
right on the first time, and I also got the girl.
But these
also.
are huge shoes.
Yeah.
They're big.
Bulky, yeah. But yeah, I'm so good with sizes. It's
Wow,
unbelievable.
he knew that right away.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable. You really have a talent here.
I do.
I can't wait
Special.
for your competition.
Oh, it's gonna be electric.
Thank you for answering our feet questions.
You got it anytime.
Where could everyone follow you, stay up to date, submit their feet?
Submit your feet anytime. Instagram and Twitter, JerryTheKid21. That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, I am back for Ask Alyssa, and Gia is going to help me answer these today. So I will read them, and then we'll do our best to give you sound advice. So this person said, Ask Alyssa. My sister moved to the same city as me last fall. We are having so much fun and hanging out, going on double dates with our boyfriends, and even joined a softball league together. Around Thanksgiving, she told me she doesn't like my boyfriend because he fact-checked her once and interrupts her a lot. He interrupts everyone, so it wasn't personal, but still a bad habit. We got into a huge fight and talked and agreed we're cool. I feel like she always looks for the bad in people. Also, she kept being passive-aggressive at our league games over text. I texted her to grab coffee and talk before Christmas to see what her issue is. She said she had her red receipts on and read the message and didn't respond. She was passive-aggressive over the holidays, but I ignored it because I'm happy with my life and my boyfriend treats me and my family well. We haven't talked, and I deleted her on social media. I'm not choosing her or him, but I rather hang out with who matches my energy. She has always treated me like shit throughout high school and college, but I looked past it because I know that's a reflection of how she feels and her demons and not me. All of my friends and family, except for her, love my boyfriend. I feel like she made the decision to be a bitch about him. Should I reach out one more time to fix this or just leave it and wait for her to reach out? I don't want to have an estranged sister, but also it's 2022 and no one deserves to treat me like shit, even if we're related. Help. I have thoughts.
That's tough.
I feel like the sister's projecting potentially.
Totally.
Like, if everyone loves your boyfriend and he treats you well, as you're saying, maybe she's upset to see, maybe she's envious of the fact that you have a great relationship.
And it sounds like she's like nitpicking like random things to make him sound worse than he actually is. I mean, she might also have rose-colored glasses. Like when she may think like, oh, everyone loves my boyfriend. Like I like if she thinks he's great, obviously.
Yeah, the girl that wrote in might think her boyfriend's great.
But it sounds like the sister is definitely projecting her own issues onto.
But that said, even though, let's say your sister's 100% wrong and everything you wrote in is factual, because all we can go off of is your side, right. I think, no, don't cut ties with your sister.
No, you would never want to do that.
No, I think there's two things. One, you could remain in your sister's life and just know how things stand. Like, you have to set a boundary. If she's uncomfortable with your relationship, then maybe you don't talk to her about your relationship. Never tell her anything bad about it. And, you know, like, it's like when you tell a mom something, you're like, Mom, that girl bullied me in school, and then your mom forever hates that person, even when you make up.
Yep.
It's like, don't tell her anything bad. Give her no ammunition, but also don't rub him in her face to be like, no, he's such a good guy. I would just set a boundary that, like, you're not going to talk about it. And I would never really want to, like, be estranged necessarily from my sister. But I think you guys should be able to just have, like, an open and honest chat and be like, why are you ignoring me? Like, we lived together. We had so much fun. I'm really taken aback by this.
You should just be like, you're my sister. Obviously, I value your opinion, like, and I appreciate you, like, looking out for me. But my relationship is my relationship, and like I know how to handle that side of my life. Mm-hmm. So it's just like,
unless he's like an awful person, there's no reason for her to not like him. It sounds like
there's a reason why I'm dating him and you're not.
And we both have sisters, Gia and I, and like me and my sister butt heads, but never to the point where we don't make up.
You know, never. I mean, I've definitely gotten into like huge fights with both my siblings, and like an hour later, we're like, "Oh, so did you see this tweet?" You know, like
it's like fine.
It's like nothing happened. So it's not worth it to lose your relationship with your sister, but you know, at the same time, she has to be able to respect you.
And sometimes you just have to also be like, I know I'm not doing anything wrong, so I'm just her opinion. I'm not gonna let it affect me. Mm-hmm. Like in the past, my dad's like not very emotional in a good way, whereas like I'm hyper emotional. So say I'm fighting with my sister, I'll call him and be like, Jackie thinks XYZ of me. And he'll be like, he literally says, who gives a shit what she thinks about you? Yeah. And I'll be like, but it's my sister and like I value her opinion. And my dad's like, you don't have to. Yeah. Like it's your life. And I always think that's such good advice, like from like a male like
because
perspective.
It's one thing coming from a sibling. It's like, oh, like I should be taking this advice seriously, which obviously you should. But at the same time, like you have to do what's best for you. Yeah. What you think is best for you.
And as long as you think he's a nice, normal guy, then you're not hurting anyone or hurting yourself. Mm-hmm. So I think try to smooth things over with your sister. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person.
And tell your boyfriend to stop interrupting people. I just interrupted you, but
it's true though.
That's a bad quality.
Yeah, especially if it's like in a opinionated way.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Like if someone's just like inserting themselves to give like a strong opinion, that could be really off-putting.
Totally.
Okay, next one. Ask Alyssa. I've been single my whole life and went on my first date this last October, and it was terrible. I'm 27 and want to start dating, but I get anxious about how men view my weight. I'm overweight and my life choices. I'm in law school and already have a doctorate. Every time I speak with a guy about being in school, it usually is the end of us talking. I don't know if they think I'm weird for being in school for so long or what, but I'm not sure what I should do. Do I stop mentioning school altogether? Also, how do I become more comfortable with where I'm at weight-wise? Ultimately, I know it's a confidence issue, but you can't just grow that overnight. I don't want to be single forever, LOL. Okay, a few things. Because been there, done that, all of these things. I used to feel insecure about my job that like people would think I was a vapid influencer. So I would overcompensate by talking about it a lot. And I'm sensing without you even saying it that maybe you're talking about school to be like, look how great and smart and cool and successful I'm going to be. Because maybe since you're not confident with your weight, you're trying to use school as a way to like show that you have value. This is just me psychoanalyzing you based off of like very few words. But I feel like that might be the reason. So maybe when you're talking about school, you're divulging, maybe you're going in such depth and you're coming across like you have something to prove versus just letting it be a part of your life and not like your entire life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like that's not her problem. I feel like if a guy isn't interested in that's what she does. That's her life. Like,
yeah.
If he's not interested or thinks it's like
impressive.
Yeah, or just like is intimidated by the fact that she has her doctorate and stuff like that. It's like obviously this guy is not worth your time. Like they should be willing to listen to whatever you have to say about your job, about like what you like to do, you know, what you like to learn.
I do agree 100%.
I get what you mean 1,000% about like proving yourself.
I'm saying maybe she's talking about it in a way that's off-putting is what I'm getting at. But
right.
I agree someone should 100% be aligned with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, for example, the guy from Hinge that I was talking to, what I liked about him was that like we didn't talk about work. And that's really new for me. We talked about everything but.
Right.
And I'm used to like using work as a conversation, like a point of conversation or a way in. And I think when you're just able to talk about other things, so like in your case, it's school, that's good. Now about the weight aspect, I mean, my therapist always says it's like how you present and not what you actually look like. For example, this is funny. The other day when I was wearing the Hibbly blazer and interviewing the boys on my 50th episode, some girl DM'd me and she's like, I don't know if it's like the new hair or the Hibbly blazer, but like you just look so confident. And I was like, that's so interesting because nothing's changed.
Yeah.
But I think I'm showing up differently.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with Jill, my best friend, yesterday about showing up. Like when we were at the bars this weekend, we were talking and she was like, do I seem closed off? And I was like, do I? And we were like discussing our like body language when we go out. And we were both saying it's like an energy thing.
Totally.
And if you're going to go to the bar and you're going to put your back towards the guys and hide in the corner, no one's going to talk to you. But if you're open and smiling and carefree, like people are going to be attracted to you. So when it comes to your weight, when you think about being comfortable in your weight as you currently are, you just have to realize that there's so many more interesting things about you than your weight.
Yeah. And it's also about like doing things to make yourself feel more confident, like wearing, like when you go out, like you should wear something where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I feel my best in this outfit.
Yes.
Like, your makeup, your hair, like do whatever makes you feel pretty on the inside and the outside, and I think that confidence will show.
That's so true.
And how like you present yourself, like, and even like it doesn't even have to be like a sexy outfit or like showing skin, like it's just whatever makes you feel good. And I think that's definitely like one of the most important things when meeting people. Like you don't want to wear something that makes you feel uncomfortable or
and that you're fixing and you're pulling
or
on,
trying too hard, because then it'll show in how you present yourself with other people.
100%. Like it's like when you feel like maybe you're wearing something tight and let's say you don't like your stomach and you keep like pulling it out.
Yeah,
like people are going to see you that you're insecure about it, or you're standing with your arms crossed, hiding your stomach.
Yeah. Like I used to wear like the like skinny jeans and crop tops and like I would just go out and I'd be like, all I want to do is put a jacket over my body and just like hide in the corner because I don't feel good. When I wear like stuff that makes me more comfortable, whether it's like a baggy shirt with like looser jeans, like, you know, like a cool shirt that's not like showing all of my skin, it makes me feel so much better about myself. Or like an oversized jacket that's like super cool that covers up a little bit. It makes me feel so much better about myself and makes me feel more comfortable with going out and talking to people.
So true. And I think part of my progress with my body image, like even today, for example, I'm wearing a white sweatshirt. And I know on camera this sweatshirt's going to make me look 10 times heavier than I am because it's white, I have big boobs, it's baggy. But I think it's a cool fucking sweatshirt, and I wanted to wear it today because it's Monday and I didn't feel like getting dressed up. So I had the devil on one shoulder being like, if you wear the white sweatshirt, when you get the podcast clips back, you're going to not like the way you look. And then I had the angel being like, who gives a shit? You want to be comfortable. You want to feel good all day. Don't worry about how you look on camera.
Yeah.
And I chose to wear the sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's just doing what you feel like truly makes you happy.
Yeah.
And I decided to wear the sweatshirt and be confident about wearing the sweatshirt and not sit here trying to like hide it and tuck it in. And I was just like, whatever, I'm going to look like a marshmallow and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, totally.
So I think that's part of the growth. And it takes a while to get there because I wasn't there even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But you just have to work on it.
Yeah. And also, you will find someone that loves you and appreciates you for exactly how you look and exactly how you are. Like, if you think these guys are not giving you the time of day because of your weight, then they're assholes.
Yeah.
And they have issues themselves that they can't look past something like that.
And looks fade.
Oh, totally.
So when they're all bald and fat, then we'll be like, ha ha.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Yes.
So there is no need to have men make you feel insecure about a normal, beautiful body.
I totally agree. Great answers. Okay, next and final one. Ask Alyssa how to cut off a toxic friend in a non-dramatic way. The friendship is causing me physical and emotional pain at this point. We found each other through grad school, and following graduation, tensions and feelings have been high throughout the whole friend group. I moved home for the summer as my lease was up. I'm now catching blame from this toxic friend for how my move home has affected her. She's justifying bad behavior with mental health terms. Newsflash, though, I was also experiencing mental health problems this past summer and decided to get back into therapy when I moved back to Atlanta for a full-time position because of how I struggled this past summer. Any advice is welcomed. Thank you. I think dealing with friends who are going through depression or like extreme like bouts of anxiety is really hard because they're not themselves. And it sounds like you weren't yourself. So you're probably showing up as two very different people than you were when you met and bonded.
Totally.
And when I have friends that are going through extreme mental health, like flare-ups, I don't know if this makes me a pushover, but like I try to be selfless and push my feelings aside to realize it's not about me and it's about them because they're not being themselves. And like it kind of sucks because then sometimes you ask yourself like, well, at what point am I putting up with too much?
Right.
It's a balance between being like,
totally
am I getting walked all over? Like, okay, it's been 6 months. Okay, now it's been a year. Okay, now it's been a year and a half. Like, am I still willing to put up with this?
Yeah.
And
I'm curious to if she's had a talk with her friend like about the situation that's going on, because you know if her friend is open to her about her struggles.
Well, she said I'm catching blame from this toxic friend, so it sounds like the friend is confronting her.
Okay, so I think there's really only so much you can do to help someone else. Like at a certain point, the friend has to come to the realization that she's pushing people away because of the way that she's handling her own issues. So it's like, if you don't kind of take that step to be like, I need to back away from this friendship because it's affecting me, and you're not doing anything to help yourself, like I can't do anything else for you at this point besides taking my stuff away to help you realize that I can't, like people can't deal with this anymore, you know?
I
want to help you, but you can only help yourself.
And it's like there's only, or my dad gave me the best advice the other day. I keep bringing up my dad, but he just has such a different perspective. Like my mom's more emotional like me, and my dad's more just matter of fact. And he said, when people are giving you a hard time, ask them questions. What could I do differently that would make you feel good? What would you have liked me to respond instead of XYZ? And he said, when you start asking people questions, they suddenly start realizing how their demands are a little insane.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of
sense.
sense.
Know. I was like, Dad, this is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
He's like, they start realizing as they regurgitate their needs that they're being unreasonable. And I was like, I thought that was such a great piece of advice. And the other thing I wanted to say is that I've recently, I think just as an adult, I've become so open in my communication with my friends that I feel like I'll never really lose one of my best friends because of how we're able to talk through situations. And that's with almost every single one of them. And just last week, a friend and I, she was upset about one thing and I was upset about other. And I think we were both not really talking about why we were upset with each other. And then instead we were kind of just like projecting and expecting us to read each other's minds. And we just got on the phone and she was like, this is why I'm upset. And I'm like, this is why I'm upset. And then we both were able to have empathy for each other's situations. And she was like, oh, I didn't realize I did that one thing that hurt you. I won't do it again. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize I did that one thing that hurt you. I won't do it again. And then at the end of the conversation, we were both like, let's just keep talking, like keep communications open and let's support each other. And we were so thankful we were able to have that conversation and move past it. And I think like vulnerability is key. If you just go to your friends and you're like, I'm feeling like I'm dealing with some mental health stuff and I had to move for myself and I feel like you're also going through things and I just want to know, like, is there something I'm doing? Like, how could we communicate better? Just the more open and honest you are, I've found in my like adult life, it just solves everything. Yeah. It's all communication.
Totally. I feel like one of my biggest problems is I don't open my mouth. Like, I just keep everything in. The easiest thing, yet the hardest thing to do is just to talk.
It's like, so just crazy.
To open your mouth and talk about how you feel.
Think about every show we watch and every movie, whether it's reality TV or fictional. It's like you're in your head at home being like, why didn't they just say that?
Exactly.
Just say it.
And it's like, well, let me look in the mirror because most of the time, if I'm upset about something, I just bottle it in. And I feel like that's how you affect your relationships with other people the most, is because you slowly start to like resent them.
Well, you build a list of 100 things that you hate about that person because you just keep adding it and filing it and adding it. And then I really have learned to not do this because it really has helped me in my life. To like the other day I was annoyed with my friends about New Year's Eve and I was like, you guys are being annoying and this is why I feel this way. And they were like, oh yeah, sorry. And then we were fine. I just told them in the moment. I was like, guys, obviously I don't talk to my friends like that, but I was like, guys, like you're stressing me out. Like this is really upsetting me. And then they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And it was fine.
That's all you have to do is just be open and honest. And I had a friend that used to just hold everything in, and she got upset with me and she would tell everyone, oh, I'm mad at Gia, like I'm mad at Gia. And I would hear it from my friends, oh, blah 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 is mad at you. And I'd be like, well, she hasn't said anything to me, so what am I supposed to do? And then my own issue is I didn't want to say anything to her.
I hear you're upset.
And then eventually I finally was like, fuck this, I have to say something. And then and it was the stupidest.
But she tells you, and then you're like, "Oh, that was it."
And I'm like, dude, you could have just told me this, and if we were just open with each other, we would never have had this like 2-month.
That's what happens.
Problem.
I'm telling you, it's like just be honest in a nice way that comes from a place of empathy and wanting to talk, and no one's ever gonna look at that and be mad at you.
Totally.
They're just gonna be like, oh wow, okay, she's being really open. This is a safe space for me to be open back. So that would be my biggest piece of advice for you. I hope we answered all your questions with that. And let's spill the tea. You guys aren't gonna be happy with me, I don't think, because I am behind on a lot of television and I have no desire to catch up. Like I've probably only seen 3 or 4 episodes of Sex and the City. No desire to keep watching. I will, and I know you guys want me to recap it, but I haven't had the drive to put it on and pay attention.
I mean, I heard it stinks anyways. And I love Sex and the City.
I know, it's just a mood I've been in where I'm just like, ugh. I don't want to watch this.
I don't want to deal with annoying Miranda. She stinks now.
I'm just like, ugh.
She's turned into such a Karen.
She's such a Karen.
I watched a few episodes, and the thing that really annoyed me about this, and someone made this point on TikTok actually. She used to be like this tech-savvy businesswoman, lawyer. She had the BlackBerry. She knew everything.
She was
now she's like
the
this
boss.
Grandma Karen that's like, I don't know how to work this. Like, blah, blah, blah. She just has this alcohol addiction problem that's just getting so swept under the rug.
Well, and then someone made a point about Carrie too. Like, Carrie was always cutting edge, and now she's like, what's a podcast?
Yeah.
They should have made it where she was like, heading up her own podcast, like head bitch in charge. Like women in power only get more powerful as they get older. They're not like these weak old people.
Yeah, they've totally like diminished everything about those characters, I think. And Carrie, I mean, I've always hated Carrie. She was always my least favorite one.
Everyone hated Carrie.
But yeah, they just, I don't know.
But she's the best in the reboot because she's the only one that reminds me of home.
Yeah.
Like she's the one to me.
She's still annoying Carrie.
She's Sex in the City to me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, wait. Did I go on my Emily in Paris rant about the clothing? I think this was off air. I don't know because it's kind of rude because I never want. Maybe I did talk about this. All I'm gonna say is the same person that designed the clothes for Emily in Paris is the same stylist for Sex and the City, and all I'm gonna say is Carrie wears her clothes with such personality.
Yes.
Like she's in an absurd thing, but she has her big fun hair and her great personality.
Yeah.
And like I felt like Emily like didn't bring any of herself into the clothes.
Oh, God.
Like the clothes wore her, she didn't wear the clothes.
Yeah.
Carrie wears the clothes.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Totally.
Okay. And then the one other thing that I didn't watch yet that you guys are gonna murder me for is The Bachelor.
Oh, okay.
And I've never missed a season. Like I am an OG Trista Sutter stan. I've watched The Bachelor. I've probably only missed like 3 seasons ever. And they're like the early ones. I have no desire. But
we're too bachelored out.
I'm bachelored
It's
out.
Too much.
I'm not invested in Clayton. The one thing I'm feeling like I'm going to regret is not knowing who anyone is when they go on Paradise or when it comes time to podcast with people and interview people and I don't know who anyone is.
When you put your poll up, should I watch this season, did you get more yes or no?
It was like 50-50.
Interesting.
I think what I'll do, which is sad that it's come to this, I'm going to watch for business purposes. Genuinely.
Yes.
Like it is my job to
Yeah.
be in the know.
Yeah.
And I like to be in the know of like the hot goss.
And maybe you could just watch like recaps.
Also,
know?
watch
like,
me end up loving it.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I just felt a little fatigued from, I don't love the first episode. It's a little, like, lame. Again, it's one of those shows, like, I'd rather be scrolling on TikTok than watching, which means I really don't want to watch it.
It's just, like, background noise for me at this point, you know?
So I'll watch it, but I haven't yet, so I can't even update. So basically, today's update is that I have nothing to update you guys on. I do want to talk about Kanye West and his new girlfriend, Julia Fox, I think it is. PR stunt.
I have seen so many absurd TikToks about her and her past. Like
and how she's obsessed with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, and she was like, she put on like these crazy art shows where she like used her blood for like paintings.
Oh yes, I heard
like,
this.
Released a book that had like these very explicit nudes and like pictures of her getting like beaten. And obviously it's like supposed to be like a representation of like her past and like stuff like that. But she had a wild beginning of her career.
So I'm not a huge like conspiracy theorist, genuinely, because I hate to think that the world is so like cynical like that. So I always say I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but of course I listened to one that my friend Amanda posted, and it was from NT the lawyer, who is like this guy that reports blind items in Hollywood. And basically he was saying how there was auditions to be Kanye's girlfriend. They like started auditioning people and he chose her. And that's why this seems so calculated. And I have to say, for someone that's not a conspiracy theorist, I truly, as a publicist, believe something isn't adding up here. The way they went on their second date, and then there was an Interview Magazine article, you have to arrange press. You have to pitch the idea to press. You have to set up time for this. The way there was, she said when she went back to her hotel room, there was racks of clothes in her size. So you're telling me in 24 hours, Kanye had Balmain fly out or Balenciaga fly out clothes? Absolutely not. This was premeditated. It was 100% set up. I think he sees Kim with Pete, and he's been doing these public declarations of I want Kim back. He's losing grasp of her. With every inch she's out of his grasp in the Bahamas with Pete, and Kanye's like, I need a girlfriend, I need to make it big, and I'm gonna get back at her. And boom, 2 days later, full press release, a news article, this girl's name's everywhere. I personally believe it was extremely staged and very obviously staged.
Yeah, totally. It was just the most insane thing I've ever seen. And she the article was hilarious because she wrote it like she has the writing skills of a 5th grader.
But it was kind
She's
of like,
we had so much fun, and
yeah,
then
she's
he
like,
opened the
who
door.
would have thought
Yeah,
that a
yeah.
man like Kanye
Yes.
West would buy me clothes?
Yes,
I'm like,
yes. They must have put
Hey,
it
and
all
listen,
together so fast.
I just want to say too, I'm not judging her. If someone was like, "Hey, you want to audition to be Kanye West's girlfriend?" I'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no,
Yeah.
no.
And she seems to have a Kardashian obsession, so she probably
Who
thinks this is
wouldn't-
one step closer to getting to the family.
Who wouldn't take that opportunity?
Oh,
It's
totally.
huge press moment, huge career
her name is
booster.
in every single big entertainment outlet
This
right
might
now.
make her a big celebrity.
Yeah,
now.
and I'm sure she'll be in more movies. We'll definitely start seeing her.
100%. So I don't blame her at all for taking the opportunity. All I'm saying is I personally believe it was contrived. And I think it is very, very obvious that this was premeditated because interviews don't just poof into thin air.
Yeah.
Editors are contacted, things are put into play. And that's just what I believe. And I'd also like to say that Kanye West went to Carbone on Friday. I went on Saturday, and Kylie Jenner went on Sunday. I missed the entire Kardashian clan by 24 hours.
Damn.
Ugh, so annoying. Kim and Pete in the Bahamas, those pictures are obviously very confusing. Her wearing the baggy black jeans and the plunging bathing suit. It's confusing because it looks like they're boarding a boat in that outfit, but then they were seen landing in LA also in that outfit. So part of me's thinking the press kind of confused. Part of me's thinking they got in those outfits to go home, and the press made it sound like they got in those outfits when they landed. So we were like, why is Kim been in this outfit for 48 hours? But I think it was just really one scenario that was picked up a few different ways. But I'm here for her and Pete. Like, I think they're hot. I don't know what it is. Kim Kardashian dating Pete Davidson has made me have the complete hots for him. I'm so into him. I totally see it. I'm like on a Pete Davidson spiral watching his YouTubes. And I ship.
Oh yeah.
All aboard.
Totally. I love them together. I think it's fun.
Fun.
But
It's
whatever.
so
If it's a
fun.
PR stunt, I honestly don't even think it is, but I think it's something very fun for her, a younger guy. She deserves someone that will like actually appreciate her, and like I feel like she needs something new, something just like someone to make her laugh, like not someone to give her like make her cry all night and freak out over the next thing that he's gonna say. Like, he just is a funny guy who probably really appreciates her.
I totally agree. And then the last topic is Claire Crawley was seen with his name's Blake something. Blake Monar. Monar?
Blake Moynes?
No, different Blake.
Oh wait,
Monar. Moner or something. Monar. I don't know.
Is that the one that had the drama with Kaylin?
He was the tatty daddy that was dating Tia.
Oh, tatty daddy.
Yes. So
Okay.
Claire posted a story, or like, I don't know why Bachelor Nation, every single one of them keeps posting like montages with like sad music with them and their boyfriend, which I don't blame them because I would probably do the same thing. But Claire posted with this guy Blake, who was on BIP dating Tia for a short bit of time. I actually thought he was so hot on Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
Very hot. And Claire and him have been spotted together, posted a whole video montage. Not necessarily kissing or anything, but like hanging out. Looks like they're definitely dating. And no, you're shaking your head. This is my unpopular opinion. I want Claire to find someone. Genuinely.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. She has gone through a lot.
Like, I want her to meet someone. I want her to have a baby. Like, I'm really rooting for her. Like, really
Yes.
rooting.
Yeah. With her and the Dale stuff, like, I feel bad for her because it just I think it pushed people away from her. Like, totally people just
But you know, I have like a worse taste in my mouth about Dale than I do her for some reason.
Well, Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Which, like, I'm sorry, Dale, because I'm sure we'll meet one day and I'm sure I'm going to flip the script because I've heard nothing but nice things about him, genuinely. Like, I've friends of friends that are like, he's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's not a nice guy, but something about the situation, for whatever reason, almost like
It just seemed very
painted
toxic.
him in a worse light. Like, I almost felt for her because, like, she just wants it so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope that her and Tatty Daddy have a beautiful, beautiful relationship.
and he's hot.
Yeah, he is hot. She's a beautiful woman.
Beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
she has the sickest body.
Yeah.
Like, I'm rooting for it. Like,
Yeah.
I really want them to be together.
I hope so.
So, I don't know. Again, maybe my unpopular opinion. If you've made it this far into the episode, I am recording with Greg Grippo this week. So, we'll get some Bachelor tea. I think I need to catch up on the season before then.
On
Clayton's.
Yeah.
Not that I even want to talk about it with him, but
When
just
he
in
was-
case.
yeah, because I was gonna say when he was at your show, he was like, I haven't watched anything.
Oh
Like,
my God, I
don't
asked
really-"
him all the tea off air. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, you know, when you're drunk. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is what I recommend you do.
I know.
I think I said this on my podcast. I told him to play it like Tyler Cameron. I was like, you have an opportunity here.
I mean, yeah, he could. He
I-
could have easily been the next Tyler
I
Cameron
think he
if
shouldn't go on Paradise and he should play it like Tyler Cameron
Yeah.
and just be fucking famous.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think going on Paradise would just help him because he's kind of like not lost his like hype, but it's definitely dying down. I feel like Tyler kind of had that hype that
'cause-
lasted him for a while, but if Tyler went on Paradise, I feel like it would have kept going.
because Greg isn't as like in the press, he doesn't care. He's chill.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Like he doesn't do that many interviews.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like maybe going on Paradise would help him.
I know.
Help the hype come back up.
But I think like,
And he needs a redemption from the whole gaslighting
but I don't even
thing.
think he needs it because people are just obsessed with
That's
him.
true.
Like when I put him on my stories, like the amount of thirst
Yeah.
in my DMs, and it's people that didn't even watch the show.
Yeah.
They just point him out in a crowd and they're like, who the fuck is that? Like people are obsessed with him.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Also, side note, oh my God, I just can keep rambling today. So Greg put up a picture, he's fostering a dog, and the same company reached out to me about fostering a dog. And I think I might do it, guys.
You should.
I've never had an animal in my entire life. I don't even know what to do with a dog. Like, I'm going to be so confused. But they said they give me the supplies, and it's like 10 days, and they just want me to foster a little pup.
Oh my God, you totally should.
I know, but I don't think I'm going to sleep for 10 days. Cause
Oh no.
how am I
If
going
it's
to
a
sleep with this thing in my
puppy-
apartment?
Is it a puppy?
Yes, but I just know my anxious brain, and all night I'm going to be like, does the puppy need me? Is it breathing?
You can put its kennel in your room, or put a little doggy bed in your room.
I won't sleep. I genuinely won't sleep. Like, I'm going to be, for 10 days, I'm going to be a zombie, but I think I'll bring it to the office.
Yeah. Think about how much of a better life it'll have in your apartment than it's sitting.
But
in
I'm
a little
also scared
cage.
because I'm going to love it, and then it's going to get taken from me.
That's the hardest part about fostering, I feel like.
I'm already devastated just thinking about it. So I want to ask Greg about his experience because I have a
Yeah.
lot of questions.
Yeah. I don't know how people do that. I would, if I fostered a dog, I'd just keep all them.
I'm literally going to be so heartbroken, but
Yeah.
I also have like contemplated wanting a dog the past few years. So I think this is a good test run for
totally.
me to see if I could handle it.
Totally.
I'm scared. Okay, guys, that is today's episode. Thank you so much to everyone that's been tuning into Sunday Scandies and Tame Thursdays. It has taken the internet by storm. I mean, we are having guys write in. We are having everyone write in, share their most vanilla moments and then their most scandalous moments. And I'm really excited. I'm thinking about coming out with some merch to support the cause. So keep an eye on that, and then potentially some Let Me Live merch, because that is a big saying that I just really live my life by. Just let me live. And so keep an eye out. Continue to follow me on Instagram. Tell your friends, spread the news, subscribe to the pod. We have some amazing guests lined up for this year, and I can't wait for you guys to hear them. So I will see you next Tuesday.